A young boy named Panty is sitting on his bed, thinking about a girl he has loved since childhood. Alone in his room, he spends his time scrolling through WhatsApp, checking how many people he has messaged. After scrolling for a while, he stops suddenly at a message from his first friend, a girl. The message brings back memories and his mind drifts back to his school days. It was Panty's first day back at school after a long vacation, and he wasn't excited about going. But at his parents' insistence, he went. As he entered his fourth grade classroom, he noticed a beautiful, charming girl sitting in the front row. He fell in love with her instantly. It was love at first sight. He spent that whole day just watching her from another bench. From the next day onward, he started coming to school early, eagerly waiting to see her arrive. Because of her, he found himself excited to go to school every day. 3 days passed, yet they hadn't spoken, and he didn't even know her name. On the fourth day, her parents came to pick her up and called out, "Anisha!" Hearing her name filled Panty with joy. Slowly, they became friends and shared many happy memories together as they studied in grades 4, 5, 6, and 7. Both were top students, with Anisha always taking first position and Panty in second. Over time, Panty's one-sided love grew stronger, but he never found the courage to confess his feelings. Some memories were especially precious to him. One from grade 10 stood out. Their school organized a field trip, and as he sat alone on the bus, watching the scenery pass by, Anisha called out to him, patting the seat next to her. "Come sit here, Panty," she said with a big smile. He couldn't help but blush as he moved to sit beside her, his heart racing. When they reached their destination, they got ice cream together, laughing and teasing each other. Anisha smudged a bit of her ice cream on his nose, and they both burst out laughing. It was a simple moment, yet it made Panty feel closer to her than ever. Another memory from grade 9 surfaced. One day, Panty didn't come to school because he was out of town. The next day, as soon as he arrived, he learned from his friends that Anisha had been noticeably down all day, asking everyone if they knew why he wasn't there. She even admitted she was worried about him. When he finally explained his absence, the relief on her face was unmistakable. That was when he truly realized how much she cared about him. For Panty, Anisha was more than just a friend. She was his confidant, the first person he wanted to share every piece of his life with. As they entered grade 8, they were growing older and now had smartphones, staying active on social media. Panty longed for Anisha's phone number, but didn't have the courage to ask. Before the first term exam, one of their teachers shared some notes with Panty and asked him to forward them to all the students. That day turned out to be one of Panty's favorite moments. Anisha came to him and asked for his phone number so she could get the notes too. That evening, Panty rushed home, sat with his phone, and waited eagerly for a message from Anisha. The whole day passed without a word, and he grew sad. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. Finally, it was a message from Anisha. "Please send the notes." He sent them immediately, overjoyed. After that, Panty began messaging her more, often helping her with her study doubts. When he didn't know an answer, he would first learn it and then explain it to her. In this way, they supported each other through grades 8, 9, and 10. After grade 10, Anisha chose accountancy, while Panty opted for science as his major. They were still in the same college, though in different classes. Panty still hadn't expressed his love for Anisha. Now, as they approached the end of grade 12, he realized he had to tell her how he felt, or he might never get the chance. Gathering all his courage, he decided to confess his love on the last day of college. Finally, the last day arrived, and Panty was filled with a mix of excitement, nervousness, and fear. What if she didn't feel the same? What if he lost their friendship? Despite his worries, he asked Anisha to meet him in the garden behind their college that evening. Anisha arrived and saw Panty standing there, visibly nervous. She asked, "What's wrong, Panty?" Summoning his courage, he confessed, "Anisha, from the moment I saw you in fourth grade, I have loved you. You were my first friend who was a girl. I love you, Anisha." He took a deep breath and continued, "You are my soul. You are my golden star. You are my whole life. Your absence makes me cry. Without you, I am like a fish without water. Oh, my dear Anisha, I really love you." Anisha looked into his eyes, silent, as if processing his heartfelt confession. The garden was quiet, with only the rustling of leaves filling the tense pause between them. Panty felt his heartbeat echoing in his ears, his palms slightly sweaty. He watched her, searching for any hint of what she might say. Was she shocked? Happy? Disappointed? Just as he was about to speak again, Anisha's expression softened and she took a small step closer. But then, a few classmates passed by in the distance, and she quickly glanced away, biting her lip. She opened her mouth as if to say something, but then hesitated, looking down instead. Finally, Anisha met his gaze and whispered, "Panty, I..." Pausing as her phone buzzed in her pocket, she glanced at the screen and sighed, her brows furrowing. "I have to go," she murmured, her voice barely audible, leaving Panty standing there with a mix of hope and dread swirling inside him. As she walked away, she turned once, giving him a look that was neither a promise nor a farewell. Panty watched her retreating figure, unsure of what her silence truly meant. Had he changed everything between them? Or was this the beginning of something he had always dreamed of?